Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Thoughts on the Round Table. Mandalorian time.
Mandalorian time. Who's excited?
Woot, woot.
I'm excited. It's been a minute.
It has.
It's been a sweet second since we've recorded a podcast.
Yeah, and we keep making excuses, so I'm gonna make some more just real quick.
All right, name them.
So part of the reason that I've never really wanted to record is laziness.
Good excuse.
The other excuse is that every time we recorded, audio never came out the way we wanted.
Yeah, that's fair.
So we had to adjust a little bit. We're recording in my bedroom at the apartment. It's got smaller ceilings, more stuff in it. It's smaller, so it shouldn't echo as much. And I actually kind of like this setup. It's kind of neat. We're back face to face.
Which is so nice.
Yeah.
And we're back in gaming chairs, which really, enhances every part of your life, mentally, physically, spiritually. There's something about a gaming chair that really just, gets conversation flowing.
Yeah, it makes me want to play some Minecraft.
Yeah.
But no, we're not here to talk about Minecraft. We're here to talk about Star Wars.
Is that true?
That's the rumor I've heard.
Oh, wow. From across the block?
Or from across the table. Come on, that's a good point.
That was good.
Yeah, you just want to get right into it?
Yeah. Oh, please, everybody, join us at the round table.
So for those of you who don't know, I don't know why you're watching this if you didn't know The Mandalorian came back out. It did, and it was good.
I'm pretty sure you could be living, under a rock in a cave somewhere in Afghanistan, and you'd probably still know
that Disney Plus released season 2 of The Mandalorian.
It's kind of everywhere.
Yeah. This one actually has a pretty simple plot that didn't move the story at all, and I want to talk about that. I understand that they had to get us back in the jive. Get us back in the mood in a way. But, I don't know, just include something about the story.
Yeah, I think what we should start off, because I'm going to take an assumption here. I'm going to assume you don't have that much you disliked about this episode, because it's pretty good.
Almost nothing.
Yeah.
There was one specific character that I want to take a knife that's sewn into my boot and kick her in the head with.
Yeah. I say what we do is we talk about what we dislike first, because that's going to be the minor. And I agree that the plot didn't really exist.
Yeah.
I liked how it was Mandalorian. I thought they did that well.
You could say that.
I liked the Krayt Dragon, because we've seen allusions to the Krayt Dragon for a long, long time, ever since A New Hope, when they passed the skull, or not the skull, the what was
Bones.
it? Bones.
The skelly.
Bones. Yeah. So I'm glad we finally got to see that, but it didn't feel like a very substantial part of the story.
No, it just felt like they were ripping off Dune. They were like, you know what? Star Wars hasn't taken enough from Dune. So let's show the sandworm just to finish it off.
Just be like, listen, guys, I don't know if this was clear before, but Tatooine is literally Arrakis. I'm talking, we read it in the book, and then we put it on the screen, and we only changed the name.
That's fine, though. It's chill.
I don't mind it, to be honest. But yeah, no, I think the only other thing I personally disliked, because I'm going to let you have your moment with said character.
Yeah.
But just a real quick pet peeve. Hey Disney, why? Just a quick question, why? You introduced Cobb Vanth. I think you actually introduced him quite well. If you didn't include the dumb backstory, I think it would have been one of the best introductions of a random book character into live action I've seen in the Star Wars universe, and actually tie it really well, nice, and tie it in with the Aftermath trilogy. Why'd you change his background? Was there a reason that you took the most insignificant part of his character? His background was not a big deal in the book or in the show, but by randomly changing it, you kind of invalidated all of Aftermath. Which is, a problem, I'd say, because Aftermath was awesome.
I haven't read Aftermath, but it obviously is one of the plans, or one of the books I plan to read. And that's kind of silly. Just like the Ahsoka book.
Yeah.
I feel like changing her lightsabers in the Ahsoka book was just that. Or changing the lightsabers from what they were in the Ahsoka book to blue in Clone Wars. Even though I think I like the Clone Wars better. Like the explanation behind it. It was just like...
just like flip them off to the author.
Like, you know what? I'm in charge of Star Wars.
And like Del Rey Books posted an Instagram picture about Cobb Vanth, and then they just like described his backstory on the Instagram picture like they wrote it in Aftermath, which even made me more confused because they're like, "Welcome to live action, Cobb Vanth," and then had a bunch of slides with his background. It's like, which one is real?
Do you know Del Rey? They're called Del Rey Books, and they do mostly science fiction because there's an author who wrote science fiction named Del Rey.
That's pretty cool.
I learned that the other day. You're welcome.
You learn things on this podcast.
Yeah. Now you're going to learn that I can sometimes be rushed to anger, and that anger comes out in violent words. I hate the droid lady on Tatooine. I hate her. She's just the kid's character. She's like a dumber version of Jar Jar. She's like if Jar Jar needed kicked in the teeth. I want to take her droids. I want to push them against her brain.
Okay.
I hate her. She doesn't add anything to the story. She's just childish. She's immature. Grow up. Mandalorian doesn't like you. He's never liked you. I asked. He said he hated you. Now, what you need to do is take the only spaceship you have and run it into a rock.
It's like Dave Filoni and what's his name? Jon Favreau sat down and tried to craft a character, and they're like, so imagine, right, a high school girl who watches family vlogs on YouTube, and then what if we just made her old and then put her in Star Wars?
Yeah, I want to take like some nails and I want to put them in my shoe, but facing down. Okay. Hammer them into the shoe.
It's like soccer cleats.
Yeah, but with nails.
Yeah,
long ones.
Rusty,
of course. And I want to kick her to the ground and shove my nail shoe into her heart.
You're gonna be put on some sort of watch list.
What are you gonna do?
You think there's tetanus in Star Wars?
I would assume so.
You think there's rust in Star Wars?
Yeah. Rust is a naturally occurring thing.
Yeah, but
Yeah, because they call the Millennium Falcon a rust bucket.
Yeah, but could that just be a colloquialism?
Then how do they get the colloquialism if it's from far ago?
Science fiction.
I hate
Star Wars people, the authors in Star Wars, because they exist,
Do they read in Star Wars?
Yeah, they read all the time. It's like weird hieroglyphics that are actually English.
Yeah, I know that. Basic.
Star Wars language is so stupid. I love it, but it's so dumb. Because they read it with grammar.
Yeah.
But it's all hieroglyphics.
That's all right.
I appreciate it.
What are you going to do?
Good try, George.
I don't like that about Star Wars, but let's get on to the stuff we like about Mandalorian.
There is a lot of it in this episode.
Yes. So one of the great things about season 1 that I think personally Taika Waititi brought in was the ability to make action funny and keep it lighthearted. And probably my favorite scene in the whole episode was when the Gamorreans were fighting and he had the little rockets and Baby Yoda closed this little egg. And it was cute. And then he killed a bunch of people. Not really giving an F about anything. But I thought that was actually really well done, and one of my favorite scenes because of it. It's lighthearted, but also serious because he was kicking A.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that the action in Mandalorian is a different type of action.
Like Thor Ragnarok.
Well, kind of. Like it's way different than anything we usually see in Star Wars. Did you just kiss the microphone?
Yeah.
Audio viewers, audio listeners, you're missing out here. We've got a real show going on. But I do think it's different than a lot of Star Wars action. It feels more punchy. It's like It's like Daredevil compared to normal Marvel action, where it like feels like it hits harder, but also they've managed to keep it very PG, like
Which is
very
surprising.
PG. Yeah, I'm honestly a tad disappointed in points because looking back at the episode 1 of season 1 of Mandalorian where he decapitated, or not even decapitated, like sliced the body in half with a door.
Yeah.
We're never going to get that again.
No. I'm sure when execs at Disney, they were like, no.
They're like, this is cool, but like, remember who you work for. This is Disney.
Yeah.
You know? But I applaud them for being Disney and still having action that is fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is an enjoyable thing to watch the Mandalorian fight.
It is. It's great. He's a great fighter. Another thing, beside that fight scene specifically, and we'll talk about the finale fight scene, because that's like obviously good and obviously super important toward a little bit toward the end. But I want to talk about Beskar. The legend keeps growing with that.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, it's indestructible against anything. It's like the crate dragon had like the vomit, like the acidic vomit, and he was just like, fuck it. Like, I don't know. Apparently it's indestructible and protects you from anything. Thoughts?
Thoughts include, number 1, what is Boba Fett's armor made out of?
I assume Beskar.
It can't be, right? He's got a blaster hole in it.
Yeah, but that was an accident.
No, like, it was from Cad Bane.
Yeah.
Cad Bane shot him with a normal blaster. Like,
yeah.
Just not even like a slug thrower. Like, just a pistol.
Yeah.
And it made a little dent in his armor. Like, that shit's just metal, right?
But it stresses that it's Beskar.
I know, which is why I was so confused on how a bullet or a blaster bolt could cause that much damage, and yet the crate dragon's acid vomit just...
Don't question it.
Don't?
Do not question.
Okay.
They may have... Okay, George Lucas screwed up, and they just have to keep making up excuses of why it is. I don't know. Beskar seems a little OP to me.
Yeah, it does seem like
they need to nerf it.
Yeah, it seems like you got Prot 4 Netherite, and nothing's gonna touch you.
Yeah, they need to fix it.
I agree.
Just make it have some weakness.
Yeah, like maybe you can get cold in it or something.
Or maybe mix good armor or make a good undersuit when you're mixing Beskar with things. Because one of the most annoying things, I wouldn't even say I disliked it. It looked like, I don't know, vomit every time it was on screen is Boba Fett's armor. When it was with a red shirt. What is it, Christmas?
It did look horrible.
Stop it.
It did look bad. Which I think was kind of the point, showing like, oh, he's not a Mandalorian. He doesn't know how to wear the armor.
Right.
Like, I get the point, but like I saw it and I was like, ooh.
He did look a little skinny too.
I think he looked kind of fresh. His
My
haircut.
mom thinks he's handsome.
Yeah, no, I thought he was hot.
Yeah.
But Cobb Vanth was a very cool addition. Besides the fact that they should have just. I'm still floored by the fact when you had a step by step. There was only one thing it mentioned. It just said, "This is how he got the armor. Why find the need to change it? Don't understand it. Never will." But I do think he was very cool in this episode, and I liked him.
Do you think we'll meet him again?
They alluded to it so heavily that it's almost stupid.
I hope we do. I like him.
Yeah, I do too. But man, did they just tell us we were gonna meet him again?
True. What did you think about the whole Western? Like, it really was a Western.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. I think the Mandalorian has really Western vibes anyways. Like,
yeah.
It seems like a cowboy show. And this was just showing you that, yeah, it is a cowboy show. And I enjoyed that.
I did too. I liked that he was a sheriff.
I do like that. I also liked, is this cancelable?
Say it and
we'll cut it out if it doesn't.
Yeah, so we'll just stop it here.
Well, yeah. Okay, let's do it.
You're good.
We're good. I did think it was interesting though how the Sand People were legitimately just Native Americans, and we even had like the problems between the townspeople who took their land and then them getting pissed about it, and the townspeople being afraid of them and calling them savages.
They even have bison like in banthas.
Yeah, it is really obvious.
It's so obvious it's like a Cowboys Indian versus Indians thing.
Yeah.
You know? Like, that's the whole plot they're going for.
And it's fine. I liked it. Yeah. I enjoyed it. I did. I liked mostly everything about it. I don't really... You know when you try to, like, think about something logically, and you're like, how the fuck do sand people talk?
Yeah.
You know, there's not words.
I've been kind of trying to rationalize how the Mandalorian knew that.
Yeah.
For a while. Nothing.
Just because really all they do is just grunt at each other.
Yeah.
Just, you know?
Yeah.
I don't really understand how, one, they talk in general, but two, how you can learn the language. It really, you know, it makes you think. Are there sand people scholars?
There has to be.
Does that mean that there's colleges on Tatooine where you can go and learn?
Now I think you're getting a little too deep.
Do you think that the Mandalorian went to one of these colleges?
He went to Tuscan U.
Maybe did a semester abroad at Tatooine.
You!
But what really makes me think is, you know, he's a Mandalorian. He's a foundling. So he was trained by Mandalorians his whole life. And that kind of breeds into the Mandalorian education system. Because let's be honest here, the Mando, you know, not only is he a fighter, but he's also pretty smart. So it makes you think that if there's Mandalorians teaching you Tusken Raider, how many more languages does he know? And why the fuck did they think that was necessary to teach in curriculum?
All I have to say is their school is clearly very efficient.
Yeah, true.
You know, he's a great fighter. You know, lacks in English skills and communication, like interpersonal communication. Could have taken a couple of classes on that.
Yeah.
But, you know.
I mean, he's passable.
Yeah.
He's made some friends along the way.
Yeah, Kara.
Yeah. And the child. And, you know, well, that's about it. Cobb, he liked Cobb.
Yeah, they were boys after a while.
Yeah, they even shook hands and they're like, I hope I see you again in these parts.
Partner.
Tip the hat.
Let's talk a little bit about the battle with the Crate Dragon.
How crazy is that was on Disney Plus?
I don't know.
And not a movie.
It's strange. So good.
The CGI was truly a marvel.
Yeah. It was great. It felt like it belonged in episode 9, not in a TV show that I get for $6.99 a month.
Yeah. I was very impressed with that whole battle. I liked how the Mandalorian did legitimately what everyone does. So when they're getting attacked by a giant worm and just gets eaten and then blows it up from the inside.
I do like that.
It has to become a trope at this point because it's been done so many times. But every time I see it, I'm like, yeah, that's what I would have done.
Yeah. I don't really know how I felt about them eating the meat, though.
I liked it.
I liked it when they found the egg.
I actually really liked that. You know, if the illusion wasn't clear enough that sand people are Native Americans, using every part of the kill, like, wow, did they just, like, read one history book and was like, I got an idea.
Egg?
That
was my favorite part. I do like the fighting scene in the beginning, but no part was better than egg. I don't know if I've talked about it on the podcast, actually. I was really in love with the egg that the Jawas had. I love Jawas. You can't really see it from the camera angle, those watching, but I have 2 Jawa pops behind Pierce. They're really cute. I love Jawas. They're my favorite Star Wars.
Look at this little guy.
Yeah, I have one from Mandalorian too. If they would have made
that's very cool.
They would have made an egg pop from the Mandalorian, I would have bought it.
I don't blame you there.
I like eggs. I don't know why I keep.
It's such a big theme.
It's an egg. The egg theme one of the top 5 biggest themes throughout Mandalorian?
It's definitely a motif by this point.
Oh yeah.
Where the egg is there. I'm not sure what it means though. I've been thinking about it a lot. What does egg mean and why is it so significant?
Baby Yoda.
that I don't think that does it egg mean Baby Yoda?
I don't think so.
Because he's in an egg. They find egg for Jawa. There's egg in there.
The prize for the Jawas and the Sand People was egg, and the prize for Mandalorian is egg.
I don't think that's... Well, maybe. Maybe it's saying that the Mandalorian is really a Jawa / sand person / a native of Tatooine who deals in eggs.
He's an egg dealer.
He's an egg dealer.
One of the classic Tatooine egg dealers. Boba Fett's back.
That's true.
I love Boba Fett. I do. He's awesome looking. That being said, I don't know what they're gonna do.
I don't know how they can pull this off.
So, little backstory on me and Boba Fett. I read the Legends books about where he survived after Episode 6. They were really good. Obviously not canon, you know. A lot of stuff didn't make sense in them. They were still good though. He did survive the Sarlacc pit in those books and lived to tell the tale.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't make any English sense, but he's just like went on being a bounty hunter still, and I doubt that's what they're gonna do with him.
I hope they don't make him a hero.
I would be upset.
And I know that it's Disney, which makes me nervous. Because if there's one thing we've learned from Mandalorian is Disney cannot have an anti-hero. At all.
I know.
They said, no. We thought the Mandalorian would be some sort of anti-hero, you know? A working man. One who not afraid to break the law.
He's a member of the working class. Or the drinking class.
Sorry. I guess one could say that he's a member of the drinking class. But actually he's not. He's actually just a hero and has very little to zero flaws. He's just a really great guy.
Yeah.
Which is fine. For I mean, it's a less interesting protagonist, but it's a protagonist nonetheless.
Sure.
I think, hear me out, I think that's why they didn't let Cobb Vanth have the backstory he did. Because in his actual backstory, spoilers for those who haven't read Aftermath or care about this one-page insignificant character in Aftermath that leads nothing to the story. But in that, he shot a man. The man, they were both in a sandcrawler. The man says, sick, Boba Fett armor. Must buy, must purchase. Got credit? And Jawa says, ooh, good deal. And then Cobb Vanth said, and shot him dead. And then said, nope, mine. I think that's why Disney didn't do it. I think they said, ooh, no, that's a little too much gray. Let's make him real good, you know?
Yeah.
I think they're going to do that to Boba Fett. Set up a redemption arc for him.
I would be unbearably sad. I really would. I do know we've talked about this multiple times. Most of the movies that I straight up love have just awful people as villains. Boba Fett, not a straight shooter. You know? When we see him in Clone Wars, he's still a bounty hunter and not a great guy. But like, Empire Strikes Back, he's like, not good.
Yeah.
You know, he's straight up bad.
Kind of just awful.
Yeah, and he's like, wants to kill people and disintegrate them. Which, you know, I mean, to me is not a great choice morally. But, you know, whatever. Obviously, people have different moral compasses.
To each their own.
Yeah. I just don't think that it's a good idea to make him at all a good person. Even if him and Mandalorian become friends, which they definitely are, there's a 0% chance that won't happen. I'm going to need him to stab him in the back.
I'm going to need Mandalorian to probably kill Boba Fett.
That would be a good ending.
I would respect that. You know, maybe like shoot him with that little rope thing and then actually like tie it around his neck and then just pull really hard and then he just is dead.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool. Maybe during a heated bromance night, Mandalorian cuts off his feet and then feeds them to the Krayt Dragon.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. And Boba Fett is mortified because they thought they were lovers, but Mandalorian has no lover except for the child. I don't know. I could see a lot of different. I could see a lot of pathways leading in and out. I think the most likely pathway is they become best friends. The Boba Fett is redeemed. I guarantee you, Boba Fett says the lines, "I regret my past," or has PTSD towards his past and is now on a mission to correct it, almost like Obi-Wan Kenobi when he put himself in isolation on Tatooine. I think that could be a very similar thing with Le Boba Fett. And then I think they're going to shake hands afterwards at the very last episode of the season. They're going to say, "Hey, Boba, you want to be my best friend / live-in roommate?" And Boba's going to say, "I can't do that. That's not my life anymore." And then they're going to write him out of the story. That's just my hot take prediction.
Alrighty, so I know 100% that's what's going to happen. But here's what should happen. The last scene of the season, Boba Fett, that whole lead up is 100% going to happen.
It's almost unavoidable.
Fine. Really. Do what you want because you're Disney. But what I need to happen is I need the last episode to be a standoff between Mando and Boba. Boba has the child, and he says, "I'm going to need to take him, and I'm going to need you dead." And then it goes to black. I want something, I want a cliffhanger, and I want Boba Fett to betray him.
I think that would be an awesome end. Something tells me that you could be, the only thing I think that way that could work is if Boba Fett is like, this thing's going to fetch a high price.
Yeah.
And then, become back to his bounty hunter. I think that's a path that this could take. I don't think it's the more likely path, but it's the path I'd rather it take.
I definitely would rather it do that. I do have some questions about the upcoming episodes.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up here.
Okay.
Are we going to see the Darksaber anytime soon?
Yes.
I think so as well.
Probably, if not next episode, the episode after.
I really want the Darksaber to end up in Boba Fett's hands.
I highly doubt that.
It'd be cool though, because he's not a real Mandalorian.
That's true.
Neither is Din Djarin, our Mandalorian.
That's why I think it will end up in the
too.
hands of a real Mandalorian.
Sabine
Wren, who is definitely going to be hanging out with Ahsoka Tano, probably on a quest to find Ezra Bridger. We're probably going to have a very interconnected little segment where everything is mentioned and brought together. And to be honest with you, I think that can be very well done.
I'm going to love it. And I love that it's going to force people to watch Clone Wars and Rebels.
I do too.
Because I was talking with a professor about Mandalorian, and I told him, I was like, I think they're going to bring in some characters from Clone Wars and Rebels. And he's like, I've just never really gotten to the animated Star Wars. I was like, dog. I didn't call him that.
Yeah.
I was like, you really need to. Because if you think Mandalorian's good, you will love this. But people refuse, I refused to watch it because it was animated, Mm-hmm. But once I did, you never go back.
It's true. You just don't. I just think that can be very well done. I also think that it could be very poorly done.
100%.
I think there's a fine line. I trust the man doing it, Dave Filoni, because he'll be involved in all 3 productions.
True.
So he'll know the characters. I think it could work well. But I do think Sabine Wren will hold the Darksaber. I think Ahsoka will be I'll take a very substantial role in the series. Not past this season, but this season, I think she will play a role. And I don't think Boba will hold it. But I wish he would. That'd be awesome.
I think, I don't know. I want to learn how Sabine lost it.
True. It'd be very interesting.
Was hers.
Yeah.
She was like, nah.
I don't want it. That's a pass for me, dog.
Yeah.
I don't... do you have any other predictions? Do you have any other questions?
I think that this next episode might be a little boring.
I have a bad feeling it will be.
Because I think they're going to have to set a lot up. And that's why they gave us this action-packed one first to get people hooked back in. and then this next one's gonna be like, that's fine. But it's got to build story, because there were episodes last season that I didn't really like just because they were building story.
Well, there was episodes last season that weren't even building story,
and they were just bad.
They were just chilling there, just hanging out for fun, just with
namely the Tatooine episode. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, that was just not good. A couple more things we probably should mention. Pretty cool that what's his face, Cobb Vanth had Anakin's pod racer as a speeder.
I did like that.
Makes you think, how'd he get it?
Don't know.
We won't ever.
No.
And it is perplexing, especially since he doesn't even live in Mos Eisley.
I think it's the same thing. Like, just don't question it.
Just don't question it and enjoy it.
Yeah, just enjoy it. It's his.
Look, he's kind of like Anakin.
Yeah.
Because he races on Tatooine.
He's like Anakin because they ride cars.
True.
Yeah.
He is like Anakin because they ride cars. What do you think about like a Fast and the Furious style Star Wars movie?
I don't know about movie, but I need the game. I need a pod racing game.
You think... Would you play a pod racing game?
100%.
See, I said that about Star Wars Squadrons, and as I've only logged on 3 times...
Yeah, I think we played twice.
Listen, I was wrong about Star Wars Squadrons. Just completely. I really thought that would reshape gaming. It didn't.
Kind of boring.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
It is very cool. It is very cool how it works.
Very real feeling.
Yeah, man, is it the same match every time?
You played 3 hours. You played
it all.
Hours. You know?
Yeah. But I think a pod racing game could be kind of neat.
It just is a short thing. I don't want it to be like
maybe like a $10 game.
Yeah.
Or like even a free game.
Yeah.
Released with like ads, or you could pay for skins for your pod racer.
Yeah.
Like kind of like a Fortnite.
Kind of like a battle royale.
No, I don't think that it would work as now a Star Wars battle royale would be freaking awesome.
I don't know how they do it, but I'd be there to try.
I think that they could do it pretty easily. I think if Battlefront 3 comes out, right? Let's put on my little conspiracy hat here for future Star Wars media. So Battlefront 3 is almost a guarantee.
I did know that.
Because, well, I think EA is going to keep the license.
100%.
I think they're going to keep the license. And, you know, Battlefront's a moneymaker. And what a comeback Battlefront 2 had with the media and the player base to become from one of the most hated games of all time to one of probably the most beloved Star Wars games of the modern generation. The fans love it because it is very good. So I know that there's going to be Battlefront 3. And there's 2 things that I think they need to add for that game to be successful long term. 1, Galactic Conquest, like the old Battlefront 2. And I actually think they will.
I hope so.
Because the fans have been asking for it for so long that not including it would almost be unacceptable.
That's probably fair.
And I also think that they could do a free-to-play, almost like Warzone, Battle Royale extension. Because what do you need to craft a good Battle Royale? A dope landscape.
Which they have.
Some awesome vehicles.
Also have.
A large variety of weapons to loot.
True.
And an armor system. Which Star Wars is legitimately known for its armor.
Yeah.
Everything is there to make an excellent Battle Royale.
I don't know why they wouldn't try. Let's just say that.
It is a moneymaker.
Yeah.
The amount of customization and money you can charge for skins just in the Battle Royale.
The amount of money I would put into it is disgusting.
Yeah. And they could even, they don't even have to do like Star Wars characters. They just do Star Wars moments as like spray paints on your base armor or something. Like a Maul spray paint for a Stormtrooper helmet. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd buy that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, would you buy like a Sith Trooper's coloring of a Stormtrooper outfit?
Absolutely, I would. It's the perfect game for a Star Wars. Perfect genre. I'm sticking by it. I think they'll add it.
You need to contact EA.
I'm in talks. Right now, actually. No, I am.
We're talking right now. You idiot. Thanks everyone for joining us. Thoughts on the Round Table. This was really good. It feels I haven't felt this comfortable recording a podcast since we moved in. Probably.
I agree.
This feels right.
Mm-hmm. Much better location.
I hope it sounds a lot better. And looking at it will.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining again. This should be up tomorrow, which is Thursday. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Yeah, can't wait for episode 2.
True. Just a real quick, some shout outs to give. Follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, it's all in the bio. Also, I mean, if you want to listen to me more, I've been streaming on Twitch over the past couple weeks, like 3 or 4 times a week. It's very fun. Come hang out. It'd be cool. We could talk.
I joined one time. It was fun.
So with that though, do you have anything else to plug?
No.
All right.
Thanks for joining us. Goodbye.